Hi, my name is Pallavi Narayanan, and I'm a senior in computer engineering. Along with Daniel, we're both part of the ECE Student Advancement Committee, which is like a leadership group for the ECE department.
What's up, everyone? My name is Daniel. I'm currently a senior in computer engineering. I'm the other co-chair of ECE maintaining the Student Advance Committee with Pallavi.
This presentation is 10 things we wish we knew when we were starting out college. So this is an obvious one. Go to office hours. So I'm sure you've all heard people tell you to go to office hours, but it's really useful no matter if it's a TA office hour or it's a professor office hour. With TA office hours, you tend to get help with your assignments or coursework. Rather than in a professor office hour, you'll probably ask more questions about the lecture, concepts, or general idea of something you didn't get to ask in lecture. I would suggest going to both because a TA office hour is really helpful to get hands-on help with the work you're doing in the class, and you can also meet a lot of other students and maybe form a study group out of that. But with a professor office hour, you get more face-to-face time with the professor. There will be other students there, but it's also a good way to create a personal connection and maybe learn more about their research. Second tip is to join a few clubs. I would definitely suggest trying out as many as you want, especially in your first few weeks. So maybe going to a general meeting or an informational meeting to hear what this club is about, how often they meet, what they expect from you. But definitely only commit to 2 to 3 because they are very time consuming, especially larger clubs. They might have you meet every day of the week, twice a week, so on and so forth, and they might also have a lot of events. So I would suggest finding 2 to 3 that you really like and sticking with those. Some good choices are project-based ones like Robotics or Solar Car, which tend to have a long-term project or project teams, so you can get hands-on experience with something. This is really good if you want something on your resume when you're looking for an internship. But there's also a bunch of others that you can try. Another tip is to go to career fairs. I know this is tough, especially in the beginning of the school year when you literally don't have anything on your resume, but you will be working with your Engineering 100 instructors to find out what to put on your resume. But it's not a wash just going to a career fair, even if it's next week, because you can create a connection with the recruiter. I would suggest doing research and checking out the companies that are coming beforehand and try to do research on the ones that aren't the most popular. For example, things like Microsoft, Google, Apple will all have really long lines, and they tend to be looking for older students, especially juniors and seniors. So it might be a little disheartening to go up to them and realize they're only going to have like a 1 to 2 minute conversation with you. But if you go to something smaller that has less of a line, you'll more likely have a longer conversation, especially if you go in with more knowledge about that company. So do some research. And finally, also, if you can, try to follow up with an email. So if the recruiter is able to give you an email, it's really a nice touch, especially because they will remember you. You can say, oh, I talked to you about this such and such, and I really enjoyed our conversation. So they'll remember you next time, and they'll say, oh, this person emailed me, so I remember our conversation. Another tip, go to class and discussion. This may seem really obvious, but a lot of times with online classes, it's easy to slack off and not go to class, sleep in, maybe not go to your 8 a.m. But with online classes, you'll make better connections when you go in person. So a lot of people you'll notice later in the semester will stop coming to class because maybe their sleep is catching up to them or they have a lot of work. But the people who do show up to class will make a better connection with the professor because they will notice, and also TAs will notice, other people in the class will notice, and you can form groups of people to study with or to do homework with during the time when you're in class because you'll see the same people in class. So this is also a good way to maybe participate more in class, take notes, ask questions. Based on what your previous notes, like you can literally just look at your notes from the time before you had class and ask questions about that and try to get involved in the class because you'll get more out of it. And this will help professors and TAs notice you and they'll say like, oh, this person is doing their work in this class. They're participating, so you can create an academic relationship with them, which is really good for any research opportunities if you want those, or recommendation letters for a scholarship or for grad school.
Make friends with people in your major. This is super duper helpful when you want to collaborate on projects, get ideas for homework, or find friendly faces in your classes. Although I understand that with everything being online, the last part really might not matter too much, but if you really want to have a reliable partner or a reliable homework mate or a reliable classmate that you guys can help each other on, it's definitely important to make friends in your major. There are many classes, just an ECE department that requires partner. ECE 385 is one such class, and there are a lot of lab classes that you probably want to have friends. A lot of the machine problems or some of the homework that you will encounter for these classes that you will be taking, they require group effort, and it's better if you know another person from your class that can help you in these homework and in these studying. It's definitely beneficial to have friends with people in your major, and please don't, ignore the benefits that it can bring it to you. Although this does not mean that you shouldn't make friends with the people outside of your major, but I'm just saying that it's important that you are also friends with both in and out of your major. Talk to upperclassmen. This is really important. They already went through whatever you went through. College is more likely harder than high school. You need advice. You need to know what classes that you will take, and this is a stepping stone of you actually potentially going to the next phase of your life. These upperclassmen know the specific areas, this different experience and background on specific things that you might be interested in wanting to learn about. As an example, if you want to take a database class, you probably would like to, get more info out of them. Talk to your upperclassmen because if they already took that class, they can give you a lot of information. So you definitely should get to know your upperclassmen and talk to them as much as you can. And these upperclassmen are really nice too because they know what you guys all went through. So I definitely say that these upperclassmen are more willing to help than refuse to help you guys. How you can get to know more of these upperclassmen is, as an example, by joining a club. ECE is a great way to get to know people, the upperclassmen that can help you and give you advice. And not only that, but they can also give you the website portals for different textbooks that you can download, or they can even lend you the textbooks, or they can also help you decide what classes that you should take as a freshman, or potentially going into sophomore year or junior year. Meet people from different backgrounds. EC department is widely diverse. Not only EC department, but I guess the U of I campus in general is very diverse. We have the biggest international population compared to any other college campuses, and I definitely say that ECE department has one of the highest international student to domestic student ratio than any other departments. Just don't be close to wanting to meet like people that are from America, or be close-minded, but rather try to meet people from different backgrounds. You might be able to learn a perspective that you've never thought about, or maybe in terms of coding you see an algorithm that you've probably never encountered if you talk to the people with different backgrounds. It's always helpful. It's always amazing to just hear different background stories of how they got into ECE, or the different future plans or career plans that they might have. And then they might be tremendously helpful to you in your journey in ECE. A lot of these students are and then vice versa too. In term, if you're international students, it might be important. It might be good for you to know the domestic students who came from Illinois or in U.S. Because they have more experience in living in America, and they can give you some of the tips or different cultural norms that you might not have expected in these other international countries. So definitely try to meet people from different backgrounds. Just don't confiscate yourself into a close circle or some status quo that you might have. Definitely know how to prioritize and manage time. It's very, very easy for you to, not prioritize on the things that are important, and maybe lose on your sleep or get bad grades because of it, because you're around with friends, or it's so easily accessible to just talk to friends here and there. You might not prioritize on studying, but rather having fun with your friends, and as a result you might see a deteriorating grade compared to when you were in high school. But these are easily fixable as long as you know how to manage and prioritize on things that are important. So definitely keep track on these different priorities that you might have for yourself. I know that not everyone prioritizes academic as number one, so just make sure that you definitely set out a plan to study, but also have some good time. I know as a freshman, a lot of things will be overwhelming to you, and in these cases, definitely leave some time for yourself, because I know that you can't be social 24/7. And definitely care for your health and mental wellness. I know for some people, some freshmen who are, at the dorm, you might miss on your family, and you might need to talk to your family more than other people. So definitely get your health and mental wellness in check as you progress through your life in college. Utilize the resources. I know that libraries are currently closed, but you know, in the past they've always been the number one favorite spot for ECE students to study. And also the ECE building in itself is just has a wide, accessible study spaces that you can study overnight. So when they open up and when there are study spaces available, definitely take advantage of them. I believe that there are also indoor hall libraries for you to use. So make sure that when you open up, you take advantage of these resources. Even in the department, there are three specific resources that you can utilize during COVID, and they are HKN review sessions, EC Student Advanced Committee events, and IEEE TED Talks. HKN review sessions are just tremendously helpful in the aspect that it just reviews everything that you've studied until maybe the start of midterm or the finals. So make sure to go to one of these review sessions because they will definitely help you in studying. EC Student Advanced Committee will hold different events for you to come and join and freely socialize and meet new people within the department. We will definitely let you guys be updated if there are any events, and so please make sure to check it out. Lastly, there is IEEE TED Talks. These are very informative. Very big companies, representatives from very big companies come, and so please just attend one of them. It's very tremendously helpful in the current technological trend on where it's going and how the technology is utilized. Just be open-minded. I really think that freshman year is the year to meet new people and just try out different RSOs. By the time you become a sophomore or junior or senior, you will not have time to meet other people. You will not have time to meet join new RSOs. So definitely this is the year for you to try everything that you've always wanted to try, or maybe different ambitions that you had on different interests. In ever since you had in high school. So definitely try out all the different things that U of I gives you, and definitely take advantage of that. And lastly, be open to meet new people in your dorm. I know that especially during Corona, it'll be harder to meet other people. So just be open about it. Meet new people in your dorm. They'll definitely help you in your social life, especially where you can't really, I guess, see other RSO members in person because of Corona.